right, we are live. Thanks for joining, whoever is. Welcome to the first episode 1 of Slasher Saturday. Hoping everyone's having a great Slasher Saturday. Today, just premiere, doing this live, just going through the Paramount tapes of my all-time favorite franchise, Friday the 13th, 1 through 8. Just give my rankings of all the films, starting with my least favorite to my number 1 favorite. It might surprise some people. My least favorite might surprise some people. Just defining that for me, I believe the original Friday the 13th, 1 through 8, is the greatest slasher franchise of all time. I think it defined the 80s. It had to, you had that, then Nightmare on Elm Street came in and stuff like that, and shook stuff up a little bit. Of course, we had the early Halloween movies, and then you just had that just started that. So it was a great time. Looks like I'm 20 seconds in, so it looks like it kind of caught up a little bit with that there. Sorry about that. but yeah, anyway, just like I say, going through my rankings, the Paramount tapes, 1 through 8. So I'm just going to start with some slashers I recently watched that I'm going to be doing on other episodes of Slasher Saturdays. One I just watched a few nights ago, House on Sorority Row. This broke my top 10 all-time favorite slashers. So one of those has to go in my top 10. So definitely, this is a very good film. That's all I'm going to say about that. I do my thoughts and review on it and stuff like that too. This is, this shocked the hell out of me and stuff like that. So this is really good slasher. So I would recommend it. Another episode of Slasher Saturdays. I plan on reviewing my thoughts on this bad boy right here, which is Pieces. Finally watched this guy yesterday. I did watch some of it real early the night before, or you can say early morning, stuff like that. And I just got tired, so I couldn't finish it. But yeah, definitely, this might break my top 10 all-time favorite slashers too as well. So we'll see how far this bad boy goes with that. But yeah, very good, very good films. Okay, so we might as well just get started with the brass tacks here. I have so many different versions of the Friday the 13th franchise. I have, the original DVD set, box set. Fortunately, I have that stored right now. But that's, from Crystal Lake to Manhattan. I love that set. It's really the first Friday the 13th set I got. Earlier on, unfortunately, I never got the opportunity to buy it on VHS or any of the early DVDs type sets too, maybe at the time or individually. That's okay. But starting with that, I have a Steelbook collection that was from Best Buy initially, I think it was, but you can probably still pick that up on Amazon, I believe. I got that for like $40 and stuff like that. So it's really good. Of course, I have the Scream Factory box set. I purchased that day one when they were going to release that. As soon as it became available, I picked that bad boy up. Of course, love all the movies for what they are. All the original 8, all of them are 8 out of 10s to 9 to almost perfect 10 out of 10 movies for me. Just great all around slashers. I just love them for what they are. And yeah, they define the 80s. So I'll just go ahead and start here with my number 8 in the Paramount Tapes franchise. So this is a mixture from the Blu-rays from the box set that I have from Scream Factory and the Steelbook Blu-rays that I have, just because, yeah, I'm sick like that and I love the franchise so much. So I'll go ahead and start with the number 8 in my favorites. Alan may not, Pop's Movie Dungeon may want to come through the screen and hit me or something like that here. That's part 3, aka part 3D. I love it for what it is. Of course, it's the first time you get him in the hockey mask, There's great kills in this. just there's a comedy aspect of that. The music is a little bit too kind of too trippy for me. I do love the ending sequence. It's one of the better ending sequences to a Friday the 13th movie out of all this franchise here. So I really do like that. This is a good steelbook. I believe you can still get it. Yeah, there's you can say almost a crushing the head scene and stuff like that too. Maybe I still need to watch it in 3D, the 3D glasses, but of course you say I wear glasses, so it's one of those interesting things. So yeah, my number 8 is Friday the 13th Part 3, aka Friday the 13th Part 3 3D. Number 7 is, I guess in this ranking, a lot of people will consider this their least favorite of the Paramount Tapes franchise of Friday the 13th. This is maybe the one I've seen the most out of all of them, because they used to play this on cable television all the time when AMC does their marathons and all this other stuff too. This, they do the Friday the 13th original, like Paramount Tapes marathon, of course, like that, but this one seemed to be there all the time. Hey, what's going on, Brad? Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. I love the kills in this one too, and this really has an interesting cast of people. A few in particular I've seen before in other stuff, but might as well just get this out of the way. That's Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. I really like this movie. I do. This is my number 7 ranked one and stuff like that. I do believe a lot of people say it deserves a little bit more love for what it is. I understand a lot of, like I say, it's like bits and pieces are shot in New York, and the rest is in Canada. Of course, you have that big, huge luxury liner that happens to be in Camp Crystal Lake. I'm like going, where the hell are you going to park that thing? The opening boat scene, I think, is awesome. A lot of the kills in this are really good to me. Some of the best kills in the franchise are in this one. I forget their names, but yeah, specifically the kills on the ship, of course, how the ship catches on fire. That's pretty haunting and terrifying. I'll always love that idea. So yeah, this was a good movie, and this officially ended it for, the Paramount Tapes for the franchise, and that was Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. I would like for them, we always want unofficial kind of sequels to certain movies and stuff like that. I wouldn't mind something kind of extra to this, specifically like the ending and stuff like that. I understand left stuff to be desired a little bit, I almost kind of call it kind of like a Highlander type of the scene when you see the lightning and all this other stuff anyway. But yeah, that's Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan. That's my number 7. And this is interesting when I really look at it. My number 6 is probably one of the greatest soundtracks of all time, really. This is where stuff started getting a little batshit crazy with the character of Jason Voorhees. I'll just say one of the greatest quotes in horror history. Jason belongs in hell, and I'm going to see that he gets there. That's Friday the 13th, Part 6. Jason lives. Yeah, kill or be killed. I just love that. Oh God, just the quirky scene with the paintballers, I believe it is. Just one swipe, and they're all gone. And I think even that time, the Jason character is thinking, "Wow, I actually did that." Okay, Frank and Jason, as everyone likes to call him. Of course, the whole lightning thing to the bolt when this dude's continuously stabbing him and stuff like that. I love that idea and stuff like that. I'm like, Tommy's just stopping him, or just Tommy just going batshit crazy. I do like that scene because you can see he's officially gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, as I call it, in his head. So I totally get that. And oh yeah, I'll just stick the stake, leave that big, huge metal stake in him. Lightning strikes him. He comes up, and that's just great stuff. That's just, great off the wall kills. There's one in a cabin with one of the counselors. That's shot really well from the outside of the cabin. That's all I'm going to say if you haven't seen this. So that's a really good kill in this too. But all in all, really great film. Great kills, of course. Very windy during the filming of this. I know the director wanted to do a sequel to this and stuff like that. I don't know a lot about this, fortunately, but the history of this film. But yeah, it's it's very good. Of course, that's my ranking for. Let's see. 7-6 is part 6. Jason Lives. Really cool trailer too, by the way. I always like that. Number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I don't know why I lose count all of a sudden sometimes. My number 5 is my favorite Jason in the franchise. He is a monster in this. He scared the living shit out of me when I first saw this film. I love the opening to it with the narration for it. They basically go through all the films leading up to this. There is also a YouTube film on here, which I suggest a Friday the 13th fan film, which I suggest everyone check out. That's called Roseblood. I consider that a spiritual successor to a sequel to this film I'm going to show, and that's a Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. Kane Hodder's debut as this character. The best kill in all the franchise is the sleeping bag one to me. She decides to hide in the sleeping bag, and they had to have practiced this like a dozen times because there's maybe a mannequin in that case, but he hits that tree and literally just was right on point with the head. So you had to time that pretty good. Just tosses it, then you see her. Kind of slow kills in this and stuff like that. Of course, the chick on this other side right here. This is a great poster, by the way. This is one of the greatest F-13 posters like ever. I plan on getting this one of these days and stuff like that. Of course, it's my my YouTube picture and stuff like that too, because I do love it so much. This is the most off the wall out of all of them to me because she has like telekinesis powers or whatever it is. This doctor or psychiatrist, whoever it is trying to use her, do blah, blah, blah. She sees the deaths happening. Like she feels their pain literally. There's a scene where Jason's dragging one of the bodies who's not dead yet. She senses that all this batch of crazy stuff happens. Really good stuff. Kane Hodder got burned on this set when he gets set on fire in the film. He got I don't know if it was 3rd-degree burns, but you can see him when they talk to him and stuff like that. You can see him on the side of his neck. That shows kind of with a badass where they interview him. Seems to have a bottle of Jack in the background. It's like what a badass actor to play this part. So yeah, my favorite Jason, not my favorite of the franchise, but really good. That's Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. This one I feel is underappreciated as a slasher. This is the first Friday the 13th trailer I ever saw. My parents, when we went camping one time, which is funny, we used to go camping with them and stuff like that. They taped on VHS. They taped The Burning Bed. That was a TV movie with Farrah Fawcett. Recorded that. You couldn't like pause it, for commercials and stuff like that and re-bring it up. I guess you just didn't do that. You just recorded stuff. One of those was a trailer for Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning. This is my favorite Tommy Jarvis character. I love this film. I love this Friday the 13th. It's different. Specifically the opening with, of course, the young Tommy Jarvis, unfortunately, Corey Haim. There we go. Getting him for that part, seeing the kids just dig the dude up. I'm sure they looked at I'm sure the people who did Part 6 looked at Part 5 and be like, okay, we can recreate that a little bit. I'll laugh in stuff, brings them up. He kills them all. He sees them and stuff like that. Then he wakes up from the dream, and that's kind of how it starts. This person, you thinking it's Jason going around killing these counselors at this I won't call it kind of like a special needs camp or something like that, but it's for people who have for these kids who have these issues in their head. This Tommy Jarvis is batshit crazy here. It has one of the actors that played in Return of the Living Dead, I believe, the singer and the bathroom and stuff like that, singing that with the trippy band. Really good kills in here. There's a kill scene with some shears. That's really good. Really good kills in here. Some of the best in the franchise. Of course, it's one of the kills at the beginning with the two getting in on it. You had backwater dude get killed. These backwater people get killed and stuff like that too. Really haunting film. Really good for me. Very underrated in this franchise and stuff like that. And that's part 5, A New Beginning. And we're down to the final 3 here real quick. So this one here, I forget kind of watching these as a kid, which order I kind of watched them in and stuff like that. But to the opening scene, there's basically, I'm going to bring the scene out to you a little bit, is just this kid playing. It looks like after the rain, playing in this water. You hear the mom telling him to come inside. He's like, okay, Mom, you see that? Then you just see the boot just hit on the water, and that's when it all starts. And that's Friday the 13th, part 2, where we get introduced to the slasher icon, which is known as Jason Voorhees, aka the potato bag Jason, I guess, or the pillowcase Jason Voorhees, and all this other stuff. The opening with the final girl that survived the first movie, and then she opens up the fridge and sees the mother's head. And if those who haven't seen it, I'm sure you have. If not, you may have been laying under something, but it's a great film, great kills. There's a kill with the dude in a wheelchair in this. It's great. The camera work for that is just great. The way the axe just hits him and stuff like that, and the way the chair goes down the steps, and then the camera just frames in on that and then pauses, then the whole screen turns white and stuff like that. I always like the aesthetic of the earlier Friday the 13th films. And all in all, great movie. Introduced the iconic character, which it did. Great kills in this, great stuff in this. And that's Friday the 13th, part 2. Okay, down to the final nitty-gritty, to the final 2 here. So this one, well, of course, it didn't introduce me to the franchise, but I remember when when I was living with my parents still, and my mom still had HBO, and my dad recently passed, and my mom was going out, just going out having fun with her work buddies and stuff like that too. I was in the house and just had HBO on, and they showed this uncut. When the movie was over with, when the credits were going, she unlocks the door. I jumped out of the couch. I was literally terrified because I was glued to this film. And this is funny. This film is a masterpiece to me. This film is a 10/10. I think it's the greatest slasher ever made. If you don't know, now you know. That's Friday the 13th. That's the original. This is Steelbook, of course. The opening to this is great. Just the first kill to this is great. It's so haunting. It's so dark. It's just the way, the camera is from the killer's point of view. Everything is great to this. Of course, the very late great Betsy Palmer. Jason was my son. Today is his birthday. The iconic sounds that you hear in the film, the opening kills to the ending kills to just the last final swipe to where she gets on the boat, wakes up in the thing, and she just talks about it and stuff like that. We didn't find no boy. That means he's still out there. And it just starts to that. And you can still pick up the Steelbook. I can still find it. They seem to release these every anniversary. They've released them up to a certain point. Hopefully they release the rest of them, in 4K and stuff like that. looking at you, Paramount, but you know, just of course, you know what she says and stuff like that. This has very eerily stuff to Psycho to me. It just does. Of course, Sean Cunningham. I believe he stated, of course, another movie I still need to watch, Bay of Blood. He watched that, Bay of Blood by the very late great Mario Bava. Watched that and he's like going, "Oh yeah, I can do this." Yeah, and this just set the stage to me for the slasher franchise, and that's the original, the great Friday the 13th, all-time favorite slasher. But it is not my not my favorite Friday the 13th film. No. This comes to the first Friday the 13th I ever watched. And I remember watching this up at my grandparents' house in San Lorenzo, California. My grandfather let me watch it. It was late at night. Of course, it's on network television, so it's highly edited, but it's still terrifying to Corey Feldman, to just, you know, the introduction to him as a young actor. Late Ted White, of course, Crispin Freeman. I believe I said that wrong. The twins, the dog, the mom, the sister, the brother coming to try to find what happened to her sister. Just all this stuff. The scenes in the hospital. Let's just get down to the brass tacks. Directed by a very good horror and slasher director, in my opinion, Joseph Zito. Even though there's some problems on set, obvious problems on this set of the making of this film. But yeah, that's Friday the 13th, the final chapter, part 4. The most ruthless Jason out of them all. You can't get better than this. I mean, where's the fucking corkscrew? That's the only time I'm going to say the F word on here. That's it. I mean, the twins. I mean, the dude watching the video in this house. You know, it's just like, all the kills are great in here. All of them are terrifying. The scenes in the boats in the water and that raft type thing, which was considered very cold. I know Zito made them stay out there. Ted White didn't like that. But yeah, Ted White as Jason was vicious in this. There's a scene where he literally kicks through the door, where I'm like going, well, wait a minute. Of course, the ending scene, you hear Tommy just go, die, wearing the mask, doing all this other stuff. Great ending scene to that. I just like it. It's a haunting movie, of course, and one of the greatest iconic theatrical posters probably of all time. With that knife, with everything. It's a great film. Oh, geez. It's but yeah, just a lot of just recaps, like just the third movie, of course, at the start, and really, yeah, just a masterpiece of a slasher. That's my all-time favorite of Friday the 13th. The Paramount tapes, of course, and that's a Friday the 13th part 4, the final chapter. It'll always be about the Paramount tapes for me. I love Freddy versus Jason. I've gone to appreciate Jason Goes to Hell. Jason X is Jason X. It's a fun slasher. So, you know, I always like those. Always like those ones. I appreciate that, Brad. Thank you. I mean, it's just a really good. It's just a great franchise. If you can, you can still get the set, the box set that Scream Factory released. I know it's gone up in price a little bit. If not, I mean, Walmart has a DVD set of it that they re-released in these like clear cases and stuff like that. You can get the Steelbook Blu-ray collection, which is just like the other Blu-ray collection. As I sold the Blu-ray collection because it's just a bare bones one, whatever like that, and just got the Steelbook one because it's the same type of collection, but it just came with like cards and all this other stuff, which I'll never open. So I remember CHH doing a video of that. That's where I kind of got into kind of getting collecting horror and stuff like that, is because of him, because he like me is a hardcore. I think he's more of a hardcore Friday the 13th fan than I am. He has other stuff, but yeah, it's just an all around a great franchise. So it's always cool. So I'll just go through them, my rankings real quick. So my number 8 is Friday the 13th, Part 3D. Rank 7th, Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Part 6, Killer Be Kill, aka Jason Lives. Part 7, The New Blood. I do like the opening kind of music or score for this. It's really pretty haunting. Check out Roseblood. I highly recommend it. It's a quirky, fan-made movie, but the director was actually quite good at doing everything and stuff like that. And he got some actors. So he got the actor that played the chicken here. He got that actress to play that part again. He also got the dude back to play her boyfriend. Then they got the actor before he passed who played the shady doctor. There's a good opening scene to that. So I highly recommend it if you can find it, watch it. Of course, A New Beginning. Just a good all-around slasher too. If you don't like maybe watching all the Friday 13th, just watch this one. Just watch this one. This is a great slasher. It has great stuff in there. Rank 3, Friday the 13th, Part 2. Rank numero dos, of course, the original great Friday the 13th. Then, of course, my numero uno, Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Like I say, short and sweet. Short and sweet. My day off. I just do a short and sweet stream here for episode 1 of Slasher Saturday and stuff like that. And like I said, next episode 2 of Slasher Saturday will be this awesome film, House on Sorority Row. Then the following week, episode 3 will be on this bad boy right here, Pieces. So, all right, thanks to whoever's stopping by. Thank you for stopping by, and thanks for viewing this. And thank you, Brad. I really appreciate you stopping by and stuff like that too. And appreciate the love, appreciate the support. If you can, like, subscribe, Sleeping Bag, like that button, Slasher, like that button, Hatchet, like that button, do whatever you can. And I do really appreciate the support. And thank you all to the horror fam and Slasher movie fam that watch this. And I will see you all on the next one. You all take care.